that we've been starting called the Shed Project. Where I started with the walls. Here's the process where I do the other side, and then these are the trusses. So first, I started off with the walls. I had my paper, then I have a few montages of me doing it, and the wall was pretty fun starting off where I had to do some cutting. Then I had to do some cutting with the wood, and I had to do some assembling. I used some pins that Mr. West offered to help us set it up and make sure none of our pins move when we try to glue it. And here is me doing more pinning process. And I got to use time lapse a lot, so that was actually pretty fun to do. And then soon I was all done. And here's our part. Now for this one, we had to do a bit of a lot of wood cutting. Had to do a lot for the bigger pieces, had to do a lot of little pieces. Still did the same process with the pinning. And then, clearly this is a different day, different attire, you know. So, as the process kept going, this was the hardest part I had to do. But with some help and some guidance, I actually managed to do it, which made me get to my next part, the trusses. Difficult with the corners and trying to make sure I cut them all the right way and the right sizes, which with the pinning process, as I did for all the other processes. So after a bunch of gluing, this is how they came out. I needed to work on making sure all the parts were glued more together. I needed to make sure I cut them the right way, and I had to be careful. But then, with my other glued parts, as you can see, some of them are a little imbalanced, but this is all of them together. And then I started constructing them all glued. It took quite a while. Some pieces kept falling, and it took many. As I was going to say, one thing that I need to take back from this project is that I need to focus on timing. I need to make sure I do everything slowly and I make sure I do it efficiently and not mess up that much. Because in terms of me rushing, I may have messed up the project a little bit. But it still turned out to be a really good and fun experience. I used a ton of glue because I realized some of my pieces were opened, but it ended up sticking together in the end. And assuming that it didn't break when Mr. West picked it up, I think it turned out pretty good, even with its flaws. I tried my hardest, and knowing all the mistakes I made, I know what for next time. Present to you the project that took many weeks to complete, my shed. Ta-da! To credit Mr. West and everyone else who helped me out this assignment. And I hope that you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time I do a project.